On Radio London's Fabulous 40 this week is by Jimmy Ruffin, and it says there on the label, "Don't you miss me just a little bit, baby?" Of course she probably does, my dear Jimmy. What on earth are you worrying about? 12 minutes to 11 o'clock. Coffee time is at 11, so if your kettle's a bit slow and lazy, you'd best stick it on now so that you can really get that sort of pre-fading the cup of coffee, so it's right on the button of 11 o'clock, okay?
Don't ruin your hair with messy grease. Or make it dry and dull.
Eleven to 11.
Would you be so kind, Mr.
Okay, certainly.
To tell us the time,
Oh, it's 8:30 to 11 now.
the temperature?
Getting up, 60s.
How about the humidity?
You're being personal again, love.
Well, no matter what the weather, the living couldn't be better, so live, live, live. That's it.
Radio London is coming off the air, so here's your chance to own a piece of history, the Big L film. This standard 8mm home movie lasts for 5 minutes and features your favorite DJs in action in the Big L studios and where they eat and sleep. You can see all this and more in your own front room. All you have to do is to buy a copy. To go with the Big L film, Radio London are giving a soundtrack on disc which gives you some interesting information about all of us here on Galaxy. The cost of the Big L film with a disc and postage and packing is only £2.12 if you want it in color, or £1.10 shillings for black and white. However, if you're a Big L Super 8 fan, we want you to put in an extra 10 shillings for your Super 8 print. Make sure of your copy today and the chance to share in history. Send your check or postal order to Big L Film, Radio London, 17 Curzon Street, London, West 1.
Yes, how about that? And that, as I mentioned just now, is the voice of Mark Roman. And though you can see him on the film and you can hear him on the soundtrack disc that goes with it, we'll try and find out even more about him when he comes down for coffee break at 11, okay?
That's the sound of my watch striking, actually, because I've got the largest watch in creation. Here now are the Gibsons.
The latest weather words on wonderful Radio London.
The day's begun mainly sunny, I'm happy to announce. However, cloud and showers will move in slowly from the west this afternoon and evening, so they shouldn't reach here for a while anyway. The showers will not be as heavy as they have been, and temperatures will be close to the seasonal average. A dry weekend is forecast. It's Mark Roman. We'll be meeting him in just one moment, and I noticed out there on the shoreline that we have rather powerful binoculars, and I'm just peering at the window of number 17 in Frinton, and I noticed that there's a young rascal there, a young female rascal who hasn't put everything down and taken the weight off her feet and grabbed a cup of coffee or gin or whatever it is she likes, and she's still hard at the housework. Madam, stop it at once, because we're well into coffee break. The time now, 3.5 minutes past the hour of 11 o'clock. Well, Mark Roman, very, very big welcome to you on this morning. You don't usually get up this early, do you?
No, I don't, but I figured I would prevail upon your goodness and kindness.
Well, I had already explained to the lucky listener that we were talking about coffee break last night, and I noticed sort of tears welling up in your eyes, and you rather sadly explained that you'd never been on coffee break. Is that
No,
right?
not once in my life.
How long have you been with Radio London then?
Nearly 2 years.
Gosh, well, dare we ask, what happened? What were you up to before then?
Before that, immediately before then, I was selling cakes during the day and working in a scrungy ex-army sort of bomb site ballroom in the evenings before that to earn pennies.
Uh-huh. And you rubbed a couple of those together and out came a genie called Radio London.
Yeah, more or less. More or less. I nearly pulled your wire out then, didn't I?
Yes, you have. Oh, my ear must have gone dead. Never mind. Meanwhile, we ought to advise everybody that it's 5 minutes past 11. Nobody gets on coffee break without doing some work. Read that.
I knew it. Housewives, you've been buying Look cooking film for roasting because Look lets you see when the meat's cooked and you don't take it off for browning. Now summer's really with us. Now summer's really with us. Look to cook your... This is what comes of reading it uphill, you see. Now summer's really with us. Look to... Goodness.
I think I better.
Yeah, I think you better do that. It's terrible.
Housewives, you've been buying Look cooking film for roasting because Look lets you see when the meat's cooked. Now, you know that part, don't you? And you don't take it off for browning. That's old copy, too. Now summer's really with us. Use Look to cook your picnic chicken, wrap your sandwiches, and keep your food fresh in the fridge.
I suppose you think you're very clever, don't you?
I only just made it. Can we say it again? Let's, hey? Look is transparent. It lets you see what's what. Look out for Look in the blue and orange triangular pack at your grocer, stationer, or hardware shop, which brings me to mention, Mark, that you're something of a cook yourself. Do you use cooking film and things?
Yeah, I use the full bit. I believe in using all this sort of stuff. And never let a woman near the cookery thing.
Really?
No, honestly, this is ridiculous. Well, I'm sneaky. I hate washing up, and I invite people around and say, well, I'll cook and you can wash, and the girls always wash up and I cook.
Clever, yes. I tell you what, let's have a gramophone record almost immediately. I wish this was telly, because you ought to be able to see Mark Rowan. You know, this coming down to coffee break has got to him. He's got all smartened up, done his hair all special.
Vitalis for the natural look.
It's already 9.5 minutes past 11. It's not too late to sort the old barnet out and use some Vitalis. Excellent product, splendid. Do heartily recommend it. Mark, mate, have you got any friends out there in what TW will call Radio London?
Probably got lots of friends, actually. One...
You don't sound very certain.
No, well, most of my friends sort of work during the day, and they said they're hard at work selling things. Most of them are salesmen. So they won't be listening unless they're out demonstrating a car or something.
Yeah.
And the one special one must say Linda, because you met Linda, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I met Linda, yes.
You naughty boy, you.
Oh, yes, I met Linda, yes.
Yes, I was rather worried about you on that particular occasion, and the double bar, the Red Lion. And I must reveal this, actually. Linda is as you know, is a very attractive model.
Yeah.
She's currently doing some work for Simca cars, and she's sort of draped all over cars and things. She made me down in Wales, at present, actually. She's very beautiful. And you were getting very, very naughty and wanting to take photographs of us two, we two, I believe, is the expression, embracing perhaps.
Well, I'll ask you, where else can I get models for nothing? All right. Well, from Mark particularly, and also from me, Linda, cheers, morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Everything looks good when you open your eyes with Big L.
Now, next artist on the turntable, as some disc jockeys like to put it, is Chuck Kenny Damon. I believe you know him, Mark, don't you?
Yeah, he's one of the funniest men you've ever met in your life. You wouldn't think so from his songs, but he's done a lot of work in Hollywood, in films and cabaret. And
is he American?
Yeah, he is actually American, born in Los Angeles. One of the greatest characters in the world. Very, very funny. If you ever meet him, ask him to tell you about his birthday party at a place called Baco 70 in Old Compton Street, where we had lunch. This was the funniest thing in the world, honestly.
All right, well, next time I meet Kenny Damon, I'll ask him to tell me about his birthday party. Meanwhile, let's make do with listening to his record. What's it called, Mark?
Sweet Maria.
Nice tune from our ballad box there. Sweet Maria by, what's his name again?
Mr. Kenny Damon.
Mr. Kenny Damon. Well, thank you for suggesting that one, Mark. Do you want a cigarette, by the way?
Thank you. I like the ones with got tips on.
Oh, I smoke anything that lights, quite honestly, but
We had noticed, yeah.
I have some brand preferences. I've been making complaints, Mark, actually, that every other sort of commercial I seem to play has your voice in it. You keep on intruding into my program, so I'm going to make sure of this one.
Hey, you, pardon the intrusion, but does your business involve a lot of transport? What do you do when your vans break down? Why worry about transport when you can let Avis worry for you? Avis Van Rental Service will keep you supplied with vans in first-class condition.
Well done, that lad. Do you think you'll make the grade?
I don't know, really. I wouldn't like to say myself, you know. Really.
Well, talking about making the grade, Mark, we all have a little problem, don't we, as of next Monday?
Little problem.
Oh, yes, masterly understatement.
Yes, very good.
Tell us, Mark, have you any plans? What are you going to do?
Honestly, I haven't. So if any producers are around that want talent, don't come to me. But no, I have, over the last year or so, as you well know, written on different things. In fact, we even started to write a radio play for Big L.
Oh, yes, with a space opera
thing, which unfortunately then everybody left. Probably because of the radio play. So I have, in fact, written about 3 television shows, so I've got the ideas for them. One of them is more or less completed. And I'm hoping that maybe I'll get a chance of doing that.
Good, well...
On television, maybe.
Have you sort of made the necessary contacts? I mean, has a précis already been accepted or not?
No, there is a meeting next week. I'm hoping to hear that there will be one anyway. But the trouble with this industry, as you know, we call it an industry. There's no business like show business. Is for 7 years, I spent a lot of time earning fairly good money running around the clubs in London.
You even had a jazz club of your own, didn't you, I believe?
Yeah, at one time, and a Bentley, which is no longer with us. This sort of thing. So 1 minute you're up, and the
Am I
next
right in
minute you're
saying that the
down.
police closed down the Bentley and somebody smashed up the club?
No, the club got smashed up on numerous occasions, actually, but the actual police, your actual police, like, you know, came and cautioned him in my truncheon, Your Honour, and closed him down, you see.
Oh, well. That's show business again, isn't it?
Simply because, well, the licence actually had expired, and the local residents were getting very unhappy because hundreds and hundreds of young people were enjoying themselves with good sound. We were playing traditional jazz.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And,
my sort of music. Good.
Your sort of music, and then you got a bit naughty about this, and that was it. That was the end of the famed Cellar Jazz Club.
Oh, well. Well, may I, on behalf of everyone, because I do mean everyone, we're all getting letters saying how much people are going to miss us, and I find, and it annoys me somewhat, that quite a lot of the letters I get say, give my love to Mark Roman and do hope that he does well. So on behalf of them, best of luck, mate, and thanks for coming down to coffee break. Leave the spoon, will you?
Remember you heard it, long after it, a long time ago. Now's your chance to relive it with Living Radio.
Thank you very much. The new vaudeville band. That was the one that put them on the map. Our revived 45 from them, Winchester Cathedral, the title of that one. Nice to have old Mark down here for coffee break, wasn't it? Incidentally, it's now 20 minutes past 11, so you should be back at the housework, ladies, but promise not to tell anyone if you have another cup of coffee. I'm going to. Oh, look. Oh, look. There goes the London Continental Cruise Ferry, and what a beauty, the Londoner, sailing away on a wonderful day cruise. She really is a beauty, too. I went on the maiden voyage of that one. Marvellous, both inside and out. And every day, the Londoner sails from Tilbury at 8 o'clock, 8-day cruises. The wonderful Stevie Wonder. That's number 24 on Radio London's Fabulous 40 there, and it's by, of course, Stevie Wonder. I Was Made to Love Her, the title, and excuse me a moment while I chat up Mum, yes? Hey, Mum. Mum! Open up your own ice lolly factory, huh? Well, buy a packet of 10 Glenville's ice pops, put them in the ice box, wait till they freeze, and then, wow! Watch your children attack these super fresh flavors: luscious orange, tingling lemon, refreshing lime, exciting raspberry. Get your Glenville's fridge freeze ice pops at all leading grocers. So come on, Mum, open your own ice lolly factory. It's cheaper that way.
Wonderful Radio London, biggest sound around Big L.
So that's from the Warm Sounds, number 9 on Radio London's Fabulous 40, Sticks and Stones. And by the by, 10 shillings for your thoughts. Yes, in the Elliott Fashion Poll, just buy a pair of Elliott shoes, give your opinion on Elliott's latest range of fashion styles. And while you're at it, we'll ask Big L for the news, yes? 1 1/4 minutes away. Once again, it's the turn of Ed Stewart. Incidentally, there'll be more of him at 12 o'clock, too. Take a dive into the stew pot.
Wonderful Radio London, news around the clock.
The Dateline, Friday, August the 11th, the time 11:30, Hong Kong. And the Chinese communists who broke through the border fence last night are still on the British side of the border. They're sitting in small groups, and loudspeaker appeals and tear gas attacks have failed to move them. Rhodesia, the Smith government have placed a restriction order on the president of the Salisbury University Students' Union. The student will not be allowed to leave his hometown for 1 year for writing a satirical poem in the student magazine against the Smith regime. Lagos, more than 300 refugees from the midwestern part of Nigeria, now under Biafran control, have arrived in Lagos. They describe scenes of the indiscriminate shooting of surrendered federal troops. Many of the refugees are British or American. London, the West Indian Standing Conference has called for the prosecution of Mr. Duncan Sands under the Race Relations Act. The conference represents more than 10,000 West Indians and has taken offence at Mr. Sands' claim that there would be racial violence in Britain on a par with that of the United States unless coloured immigration was stopped. And the weather, the day will begin mainly sunny. However, cloud and showers will move in slowly from the west this afternoon and this evening. The showers will not be as heavy as they have been. Temperatures will be close to the seasonal average, and the forecast for the weekend is dry. And that's the news at 11:30 on Radio London. The next news in 1 hour's time. Ed Stewart reporting.
It's number one.
I've seen the sound of one back in the city. I've been taken for a lot and gone, and I'm known for a long, long time.
Number one on Radio London's Fabulous 40 this week, and quite rightly so, too, because that's Heroes and Villains from the Beach Boys. And important news, we know for certain that Bruce Johnson of the Beach Boys is on the tender and he's on his way out here. Be here in under an hour's time, I should think. So how about that then? Especially for you, and he's really looked forward, quite genuinely, to making the effort to come all the way out here to see us at Radio London. So we look forward to meeting him, and I'm sure you do too. Meanwhile, thank you, Ed Stewart, for the news at 11:30, and as I mentioned just now, we'll hear more of you, much more of you, at 12 o'clock in the dreaded stew pot. 24 and a half minutes short of 12 o'clock, that means not nearly enough time left for me. Never mind, do my best.
Gate number 7, for immediate embarkation.
Pretty Peter Stuyvesant, please.
Peter Stuyvesant, the international passport to smoking pleasure. Rich choice tobaccos, king-size length, special filter. For easy draw, more flavor, more satisfaction. Peter Stuyvesant, so much more to enjoy.
And since we've got several rather expensive and posh type guests coming out, including one of the Beach Boys, on the tender today, I think it's all down to getting terribly smartened up. That the Radio London Club disc of this week is by Vicky Carr. Need I say more? So keep on hurrying on, because there's not too much time left for yours truly, Paul Kay, on this particular show. Only, in fact, 16 and a half minutes, because that's a number away from 12 o'clock from Stewpot time. Let's try this Revive 45 for size. The title of that, Revive 45, here on the Big L. The time now 14 to 12.
Salt, some vinegar. Salt, some vinegar. That's a taste for quick, my crisps a taste to make you smack your lips. Salt, some vinegar. The flavour you love best.
Like Lonnie Donegan to me, I expect it is. 13 and a half to 12, and time for a reminder.
Wonderful Radio London.
Big L.
Just in case you'd forgotten where you were tuned to. Not very likely, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? This is number 17 on the charts. From a climber of mine, it's by the Wonder Who. Bash it. Here we go now. Having a quick look up and down that lonesome road.
Before you travel,
Baby, look down.
How about that one? Number 17 this week on Radio London's Fabulous 40, The Wonder Who, better known possibly as The Four Seasons. Frankie Valli, one of his many voices on Lonesome Road. We've got something very important to chat to you about now, and that is the 7th National Jazz and Blues Festival. And this time it takes place on August the 11th, 12th and 13th. That's today, tomorrow and the next day. And it's at the Royal Windsor Racecourse and Maidenhead Road, Balloon Meadow, in fact, of the Royal Windsor Racecourse, Maidenhead Road. But it's pretty well signposted, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting there. In fact, by road, you turn off the M4 at Windsor and Eton Bypass. Thames Valley Green Line and London country buses go there. Western and Southern Region trains also service this particular area, and there's a special late service to Staines, Twickenham, Richmond, Clapham, and Waterloo. So you really can't have any excuses for not going to the 7th National Jazz and Blues Festival. I wish I could get along there myself, I really do. And for instance, today, the Small Faces and the Move and the Night People, the Sin and the Marmalade, they'll be performing there today. And tomorrow, Jazz and Pop includes items from Jeannie Lamb. Do you remember she had a climber with us? Danny Moss, Mike Carr Trio with Harold McNair, the Graham Collier Septet, and all the way from America, Yusef Latif and Zoot Sims and Al Cohn. So how about that? And on Saturday also, none other than Paul Jones. He'll be down there. The Richard Kent Style will also be there. And for John Peel fans, there's the Pink Floyd. And for other people, there's Zoot Money, the Amen Corner, the Time Box, and the Crazy World of Arthur Brown is featured there. And there's an Adams recital and the Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation there. That's Saturday, tomorrow, as ever is. And on Sunday, don't miss out on Sunday either, because Ottilie Patterson will be there, bless her heart, and so will the John Slaughter Trio, so will Al Stewart and the Piccadilly Line. But, practically more important than anything else, Sunday features the Donovan Show. That's taking place there. And also on Sunday, The Cream. Oh, more chances for John Peel fans. Jeff Beck, P.P. Arnold, good old Pat, Alan Bowen, he'll be down there, and so will John Mayall, and the Chicken Shack and the Blossom Toes, Denny Lane, the Strings, the Pet Angle with Bert Jansch, or is that Jansch, I wonder, and Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. That's a debut for Peter Green, and I have inside information that it's going to be rather special because he's quite an artist. So, don't miss out on the 7th National Jazz and Blues Festival. I make no excuse for going on and on about it because it really is a special event. It takes place today, tomorrow, and the next day at the Balloon Meadow Royal Windsor Racecourse, Maidenhead Road. Easy to find, be there. As I say, you're really lucky if you can get along. I only wish I could. And that's Mr. Elvis Presley there, in his respective bracket there on the number 3 sound on Radio London's Fabulous 40. And it's all, of course, about the long-legged girl with a short dress on. One who specializes in just that is Miss Anita Harris. We turn to her for a little album track, okay?
Hey, Fred.
Hey.
I can't shift my oranges and lemons. Give us an hand.
Oh, that.
Oranges and lemons, apples and persimmons, coconuts and melons, oranges and lemons.
I see. Well, that's Miss Anita Harris there. Something a little less than usual from her on that particular album. It's called Somebody's in My Orchard, so it's all rather fruity, the whole thing. Yes, once again, it's hangar door closing time. Leastways for me. But as always, yours truly, Paul Case, had a whale of a time between 9 and 12. Plan on doing the same thing tomorrow, possibly. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Tell you what, if you're very good, I'll pop down and read the odd newscast, okay? Meanwhile, stand by Fred Stewart. And from me, cheers. Nearly forgot to tell you all about the weather. All the day will be mainly sunny. However, cloud and showers will move in slowly from the west this afternoon and evening. The showers will not be as heavy as they have been. Temperatures will be close to the seasonal average. A dry weekend is forecast. And now the Big L time is Ed Stewart time, 12 noon. He's always got company, this fella, hasn't he? Hello, Myrtle.
Hello there. What's that, Paul Kay? What great conversation. It's all he said his mind's a double there. Smooth talking swine. What he's all talk, I reckon.
Right, thank you, Myrtle, and thank you, Paul. Over in the corner, Myrtle, that's it. We've got your little seat there for you. Perhaps too little today, I think. Yes. Anyway, the good news is Bruce Johnston is on the tender, which I see is only a few hundred yards away, so we should be expecting it very shortly. And stand by for Bruce Johnston in the Stewart Show today. Who's Bruce Johnston, dear?
One of the Beach Boys, yes.
Right, starting the Stewart Show on a Friday with my favourite one in the moment. This is Keith West, excerpts from a teenage opera.
24 this week on the Caroline Countdown side. These are the Who. Stone's number on the Tarak label is called Under My Thumb.
Under my thumb, the girl have me down.
Lovely.
Excerpts from a teenage opera first in the Stewart today. Keith West, though. Oh, gorgeous. What a way to start your show, Stuart, with your favourite song. Lovely. Right. Afternoon all, and what's the afternoon? Room at the moment. Going well, love. Well, look, take another drag, and then you get back to the Strokes, right?
Stand down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk, hotter than a match head. Different world, go out and find a girl.
2, 3, 4, yeah! There they go, the Love and Spoonful Revive 45 time. Yeah, just about a year ago that one came out, I remember, an old Duncan Johnson climber. Yes. Wasn't it? Yes, it was. I'm sure it was. Love in the Spoonful and Summer in the What's It? And all that sort of jazz. Thank you. Yes.
B-I-G-L scores again.
Yes, Big L scores again on the Stewart Show, on any show this week with the Rolling Stones. Stones and Dandelion, another Big L exclusive for you. 19 and a half minutes past 12 midday, that's the time. Hi to you, Mr. D. Garrard, at 20 New Road, Trimley St. Mary in Ipswich, who was down at the old Speedworth meeting, and he says, "Dear Crashpot, I like the way you crashed." Yes, well, it wasn't all done for everybody. It was done quite unintentionally, because I was out to win that, you see, and I clanged it on the first bend. You've probably heard all about it by now, but I have recovered, so don't panic, guys, no. Oh, Richmond and Pete Drummond's climb up for this week. And Pete has returned today on December, so he'll be hearing tomorrow morning between 9 and 12 midday. It's the happening world of Dover.
Wonderful Radio London, news around the clock.
Bruce Johnson.
And I didn't even get seasick.
You didn't?
No, it was groovy.
Yeah, but you and your... are you a boatman? Are you a sailor?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Well,
as
look.
long as there's a motor in it.
Yes, that's always the point, isn't it? What one does when it's becalmed. Anyway, Bruce, we're all very thrilled here on Radio London, and I know the millions of listeners at the moment are very thrilled that you've been able to make it out here, and thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you. I always wanted to win an Oscar. I haven't done that. Go to Australia. I haven't done that. Did a pirate radio ship, and I'm doing it.
Good. Well, it's great to have you out, and you've come in the nick of time. But you went to the place down the road first, didn't you? But the tender went there first to sort of divulge or disgorge its supplies.
There's a song I think we should play at this point.
Yeah, well, it was not a bad suggestion on your part.
All right, let's play it.
It comes from Pet Sounds. Are you on this one in particular?
No, it's just Brian alone.
It's just Brian alone?
None of us on it.
And, of course, you're going to tell us the title.
Caroline, no.
All about Peter Stuyvesant. Not only are you out on Big L today, but you're here on part of a holiday or a business trip at the moment?
Maybe half and half.
Yeah. What else are you doing? Time is 14 and a half minutes before 1 o'clock. I've got a commercial to read here, but since he's out here in the boat, let's make him work, shall we? Do this Pizzorama bingo thing. I'll do the bingo, the echo effect for you, so you start. Right, ready? Go.
Bingo. Saturday night, there's Big L Bingo Bonanza Night at Pleasurama near the beach in Ramsey. There are mammoth cash prizes, jackpots, and snowballs. And you could win a brand new Triumph Herald. Yes, comma, it's true, exclamation point. There's a special children's room under expert supervision at all sessions. The Big L Bingo Bonanza Night is a must for everyone. Doors open at 6:45 p.m. Eyes down 8 p.m. I don't know what that means.
Eyes down. Well, that's when they will start, you see.
Maybe they look at their shoes or something. Yeah. There are large, comfortable bars and a buffet. In fact, there's everything for your comfort and enjoyment. Oh, dear. Admission is it 2 and 6?
2 and 6, that's right, yep.
I see. Those are good hours. In the evening and 1 and 6 in the afternoon. The details of free membership right to pleasure on what is it, Marina? Keep going.
Marina, Aiden Kent. You must be over 18 years of age.
Write today for full details. Disc jockey, please no.
On Friday, please say tonight. Well, that's... So that's a bit you armoured, okay? But it's always written there for our benefit. Thank you, Bruce Jackson, and commercials. Well, Bruce, let's get back to the very day, the time that you joined the Beach Boys. How did you do this? A full commercial, then a weather check, and then we'll be back to Bruce Johnson.
Can you drive, Miss Herbert? Next. Go ahead.
Minutes past 1 o'clock here on Friday afternoon, the Two-Pod Show, welcoming Bruce Johnson to the microphone. But just a word about the weather. It's going to be mainly sunny, although during the afternoon, clouds and showers will move in slowly from the west during the afternoon and evening. The showers will not be as heavy as they have been. Temperatures around the seasonal average, 72 Fahrenheit, and the forecast for the weekend is nice and dry. Well, Bruce, back to you before we'll give you some of your lunch, you know. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Yeah, good. But I don't know what we can promise you out there. But anyway, it'll be something solid.
1, 2, 3, jump ahead. You'll be well fed with happy all the while.
Easy listening, smile.
Keep jumping, follow suit. You're gonna have a bright new future.
And thank you to Irene Clulo for your present to all of us here in the Galaxy, love. Beautiful. Lovely. That'll do from the small faces. Itchy Coo Park. Help you, bud.
Radio London.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to handle a racing car at high speed?
Reactionary dog, don't be alarmed. We come to tell you about John Cotton cigarillos, the revolutionary smoke that's 100% cigar tobacco, but not strong like a big cigar. And at 5 and 5 for 20, you can afford to hand them around. Okay, gringo, you want one? I mean, see. I say, they're filtered. Of the revolution, what? Ay, ay, ay.
That's what we all thought there must be a way, but then when you can't get your advertising, and this being a commercial station and living on its advertising, you can't continue, can you? That's how it goes, though. The distribution of that one didn't become the hit in England, but the Johnny Man Singers version did. Anyway, there you heard the Fifth Dimension, who had the big hit in the States with Up, Up and Away. Right, a quick stab of the old button here, which brings us in the weather word. And after the weather word...
On wonderful Radio London.
He handles the Beach Boys when they come over here. When I say handle, I mean in pure professional sense, Roger.
That's true, yes.
No, Roger.
What a great bunch of lads to work with, really.
Yeah, great bunch of lads. Well, come a little closer up to the microphone so we can
Well,
hear
I'm sitting
it.
on your lap now.
Right. No, you're not. That's not my lap. No.
Your stomach, sorry.
That's my stomach. Well, you know it does overflow, but...
No, I'd just like to say hi to Anne, Jane and Neil down in Sevenoaks, and also take this opportunity of saying a very big thank you to Alan Keane for allowing Bruce and I to come out to the boat today. And I'd also like to thank Alan for, you know, all the help he's been to us and our artists over the 3 years that Radio London's been on the air. You know, there's not another man like him in the business. A really great fellow.
Good. And Alan, I might add, if you're listening, mate, and crying into your soup, Alan is my program director.
Correct.
And I'll
a
voice
really
that.
great guy.
And for a program director, mate, you aren't a bad pianist. No. Right, 2.5 minutes past 2 o'clock. Final hour of the Stu Bud Show. Bruce has come down again, and he's looking a bit ashen. What was your food like, Bruce?
It's great.
It was. He had to say that. I had his arm twisted in the double Nelson. Yes. What did you have?
I don't know. I wasn't looking.
I went up at the 1:30 news, and I was wondering what you were eating, too.
I had a care package, I think. It was all right.
It was all right, was it? Good. Well, look, Bruce, the tender will be leaving soon, but so if we may, we'll have you in front of the microphone as long as we can before it goes. I'd like to play another Beach Boys number. Have you any particular, or anyone you'd like to play in particular right now?
Again, this is one I wasn't on. I suppose I like the ones that I didn't sing on a little better, but this is Hushabye from the 1964 summer album in the States.
Okay, let's hear it right now, then back to Bruce. Boys without Bruce Johnston. Well, Bruce, look, the tender's coming in about 5 minutes, so we're a bit pushed for time, so let's have 2 more records, one of your own choice and then one of the Beach Boys.
This is the thing. I don't know how popular he is here, but he's...
Bruce Johnston is leaving Ipswich Station, no he's not, Ipswich Station at 5:25. He'll be getting into Liverpool Street at around 10 to 7, so if you're all waiting for him, and I'm sure he'll be kind enough, because he's a nice fella, to sign lots of your autographs, all right? So, Bruce Johnston leaving Ipswich 5:25, getting into Liverpool Street Station 10 to 7. Okay, girls.
Wonderful Radio London.
Hey, thank you, Myrtle. And tell me, are you satisfied with your job?
Wonderful Radio London. Olé!
Right, message right now going out for a charming young mum of 40, that's what she is, who's at the Ship Inn, Kirby Le Sofen in Frinton-on-Sea. And Mrs. Bunting, your daughter's been out here, and she's enjoyed herself, I'm sure, and she just handed me this little message. A tip for all those going on holiday, go to Normandy rather than the Isle of Wight, because you can get Big L better there. It's right, darling, if you listen. Hello, dear. Good to hear Dave again with a new song, too, and a good one, Dave, so best of luck with it. 24 minutes, that's the time, 24 minutes past 2 o'clock, and I should have an old commercial out here, which I have. I'm just going to thumb through it. I know what it's all about, you see. It's all reminding you about bingo night at Pleasureama tonight. And it's actually, you can go along this afternoon with just 1 and 6. Here it is, right. Let's start from the top, shall we, Stuart? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo! Bingo? Yes, bingo! Tonight is Big L Bingo and Bonanza Night at Pleasureama near the beach in Ramsgate. You must be over 18 years of age, but you can always, sometimes you go for under 16 in the buses, darling, so you can probably get in for over 18 at Pleasureama as well, so not to worry. Album track time, and how about Georgie? Also, all Georgie playing tracks, and funny how time slips away.
Yes, sir. I am returning these gloves because I...
Whatever you want to say, you can say it better when you type.
Wonderful Radio London. News around the clock.
The dateline is Friday, August 11th, Aden, where British security forces were placed on what is known as Red Alert, the most serious form of readiness following a number of bomb and mortar attacks on key installations. The authorities are particularly worried by the size and range of the latest series of attacks. Rhodesia, as high as 23 centigrade 73 Fahrenheit, will fall to 14 centigrade 57 Fahrenheit tonight. The next news on Radio London in 1 hour's time at 3:30. This is Pete Drummond reporting.
Group John. What a good record, too. And hi to you, Brenda. We've got a good group there, love, and let's hope it goes from strength to strength. Anyway, Group John and Is It Love? At 20 minutes before 3 o'clock. Hey, you looking for an exciting new taste in soft drinks? Then try Top Pops, the sparkling new continental drink.
You're a pussycat and you're where it's at, the one that's in on every play. The ends are
Big L. Oh, woman, oh, so cold. Oh, dear. Isn't it amazing how many songs are written about unrequited love or lost love and everything? Most depressing, really, at times.
Okay, revolutionary dog inside. What's the revolution about this time, huh? You didn't hear about John Cotton cigarillos? The revolutionary smoke that's 100% cigar tobacco, but not strong like a big cigar? Hey, you want to try one? See. Here. Mild and filter deep. Hey! And it's 5 for 20. You can afford to hand them around.
Yes, that's right. Squeeze his head between the bars, you see. That's what, isn't it? The young rascal's a girl like you. So 20 minutes before 3 o'clock. Now, here's something of great interest to all of you I know listening at the moment, Big L listeners and everything. Well, in answer to thousands of letters which we have received from listeners during the past few days, we've produced a special 45 disc featuring some of the great highlights of Big L so that you can hear the Radio London sound whenever you want to in the months and years ahead.
Hit this transmitter too.
Mark Rowan in just 12 and a half minutes' time.
He's a real go-getter.
Right, thank you, Stevie. Very nice indeed. Right, we're going to close in the studio today. I've got two fine ballads, slower numbers lined up for us. First is from Frank Sinatra, and it's mine and TW's climber for this week, because we both got together and said, isn't it a knockout record? It's going to be another Strangers in the Night. It's called The World We Knew. The S-tape version, and we're going to play it for you right now. It's called The Last Waltz, Engelbert Humperdinck. Thank you very much. Yes, and let's hope you're going to hear lots of that in the future, because I'm sure it's going to be another big hit. Anyway, that's it. Joe! Bye-bye, Theo. I'll be around at 12 noon tomorrow. I hope you'll be joining me then, will you? Goody. Right. See you then. Lots of more good records and everything. Thanks to Bruce Johnson for coming down today. And don't forget, Bruce will be at Ipswich Station at 5:25, and he'll be arriving in London at around 10 to 7 as the trains are running. Right? Right? Good. Yep. Well, the time on Radio London is right now 3 o'clock.
Here's the latest weather.
When was it? Over a year ago, I think. I had this old, yes, it was in the old studio, it's quite right, and had this big old T-shirt commercial to do, and I was saying, big old T-shirt, 12 and 6, blah, 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 and then 12 and 6, I said, include passage and poking. And I went in and I said, the weather, scattered stars will occur this afternoon this evening, with be infrequent and fairy light. Boy, did I ever go ski. No! Many areas will continue dry and sunny. The night will become progressively clearer, although there might be some mist patches around dawn. This afternoon's high of 73 Fahrenheit will fall to about 14 centigrade, 57 Fahrenheit tonight. Oh, goodness me. After all this time, I should have pressed the right button for now.
Welcome to the Roman Empire.
It's the Roman Empire news nude today. Well, it's not you. It's been done before. Yes. Oh, happy memories. Still part of old Studio 1. Studio 2 as it is now. Happy memories. You smoking your horrible duty. I used to follow you, and I spent the first half hour choking. Never mind. Greetings and welcome to the Empire. Thank you, Steve Parker, fantastic show. Together with Mr. Bruce Johnson. A terminating contract in Strasbourg, last and to wear. Come on, you sir. Oh, I'm trying a new kind of drink? Then try Top Pops, the sparkling new soft drink sensation of the smooth continental taste. It's no chance for talking a big ass.
Where is that one that's been on every place?
Big Al. Well, there's a poll going on at present, and we also hear that Big Al is featuring fairly well in the current poll, which is not being released yet. But don't forget, all of us on Big Al, you know, remember us in a kind of light? It'd be nice to have a station featuring with number 1, which is not on the air. Club in Lowestoft. It's a really big beach center of East Anglia, featuring judicious moving and fruiting. Great live groups and competitions with extraterrestrial prizes. And a well-stocked bar for the clamoring multitude, in addition to refreshments for those stricken by hunger. Every Saturday night, a uniquely exciting experience at the Nautilus Club in Lowestoft. The great playing ride this week is the Alan Bound set. You get down. 30 seconds before news time at 3:30 on the Roman Empire. your London time now is exactly 3:30.
Wonderful Radio London. News around the clock.
Reading. The British black Muslim leader, Michael de Freitas, has been arrested at his home in London. He will appear in court in Reading. He recently appeared at a large meeting in place of the American black power advocate, Spencer Carmichael.
Fed up with drinking the same old drinks? Then it's high time you latched on to Top Pop.
After the smoking revolution?
Si, Padron, tell us.
Everyone will be smoking John Cotton cigarettes. The revolutionary smoke that's 100% cigar tobacco. But not strong like a big cigar. And at 5 and 5 for 20, you can afford to hand them around.
Thank you, Padron.
Filed and filtered it. Gracias, Padron. Caramba. Every time they get me with a tell us how it will be after the revolution, Padron.
Every Saturday night, it's fun to go to the Starlight Ballroom Greenford. Dance to live groups. Drink in a licensed bar and hear Fab 40 records. Meet your favorite Big L DJs. Take part in competitions and win prizes. Remember, it starts at 7:30 every Saturday evening at the Starlight Ballroom Greenford. Big L plus the Starlight Ballroom Greenford means fun for you every Saturday evening.
The groups playing live this week are Tuesday's Children and the Y Division. The Big L DJ is Tommy Vance, and this will be your very last chance that you'll have to go along to the Big L dance at the Starlight Ballroom. So get on down there and support us and say hello to Tommy Vance, okay? Watch out, will you? Take it easy with your wash and maybe swimmers and anglers. Watch out for those angling lines. And the speed limits on the Norfolk Broads, and they're marked up. So please, if you're cruising around there, have a happy holiday. Take it easy. Watch the kids don't fall over the side. Make sure they wear a life jacket. And also, watch out for your speed. Because the faster you go, the quicker you knuckle the banks down. So promise me, promise yours truly the Roman, you'll take it easy on those Norfolk Broads? Ha!
Here's the latest play words on Wonderful Radio London.
First on the Island label, currently 18 on the Fabulous 40. The brand new entry into the chart is called Hole in My Shoe, the new one from the Stevie Winwood group called Traffic.
Stick with us, you'll be well fed with happy music all the while.
Easy listening with a smile.
Keep jumping, follow suit. You're gonna have a bright new future.
ITL scores again.
So let's have them rolling in, mate, and we'll just show the world what exclusive broadcasting really is like. It's 21 minutes before 5 o'clock. More of the Big L Disc Centres are Ron's Music Shop at Pioneer Market's Ilford Lane in Ilford. In goes the alcohol. And it comes out the 11th sound of the Big L Fabulous 40. Refresh Diana Ross and the Supremes, Reflections.
Nothing is real. Nothing to get hung about.
Smashing Beatles and Strawberry Fields Forever, a record that went all over the world as a big smash hit. It was first heard on Big L, and in fact, in answer to lots of other people, we've got brand new records, in fact, which we'll be playing over the next couple of days, which aren't in fact climbers, they're just brand new records which have come out, which are talent scouts who all over Big L have got hold of them, bringing you new talent, because it's the last opportunity that we'll have of exposing brand new, wonderful talent to you. Personally, oh, you lovely listeners. One thing. That record was released when? Let's see if I can just tell you the exact date of release. 28th of July. And it's now, what? It's only about 3 weeks ago this record was released. So in 3 weeks, that record has sort of climbed straight into the Big L charts, number from 35 up to number 4. And in the national chart, it's already gone in bang, right into the top 20. And it happened with Simon Smith and his Amazing Dancing Bear. Have you noticed? That happened with Alan Price. Lots of records take a long, long time before they go in. But now, like Alan Price, he's heard on Big L for a week. You see, then suddenly the record's released. Pow! It all happens. Well done, Alan Price. Got a great sound.
Is your daughter leaving school this term? Will she be looking for an interesting office job? This year, she'll be competing with over 100,000 other girls. The good jobs will go to the girls with accurate typing.
Oh, this is convenient.
It's smooth sailing with the highly successful sound of wonderful Radio London.
Get a t-shirt, a gorgeous t-shirt, for 12 and 6 from Real Big L. I love a t-shirt, a snappy t-shirt, guarantee you get a new look sweat. Gorgeous colors too. Black and white. Oh, you my dear, I said, looky here. Get a t-shirt, a big L t-shirt, 12 and 6 for any size. A groovy t-shirt, a swinging t-shirt, and we ain't telling lies.
And remember, for your Big L t-shirt, send a 12 and 6 postal order to Radio London, 17 Curzon Street, London, West 1. That t-shirts, Radio London, 17 Curzon Street, London, West 1. Do-do-de-o-do, 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 do-de-do.
London is coming off the air, so here's your chance to own a piece of history, the Big L film.
Wonderful Radio London, where the action is.
And one of And 20 minutes before 6 o'clock on the Empire with yours truly, Mark the Roman. Unfortunately, the last program will end at 3 o'clock on Monday, the 14th, the dirty day, a black day for radio and people and freedom and everybody. That's what it is. Never mind. That's life. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. Oh, that's the way the Houses of Parliament blow up. Yes. And so that's it. So I will be home in town on Monday night. For all you naughty people who are waiting to sue me, hit me with pieces of wet lollipops and things like that, I'll be in town on Monday night, so watch out for the Roman's return.
Housewives. Yes, you're all listening, right? That's it. Pin your ears back, love, that's right. Now, you've been buying Look cooking film for roasting because Look lets you see when the meat's cooked, right? And you don't take it off for browning. Very useful. Well, now that summer's really with us, use Look to cook your picnic chicken or wrap your sandwiches and keep your food fresh in the fridge. And can we say it again? It's transparent, love, so it lets you see just what's happening to the food inside. So look out for Look in the blue and orange triangular pack. Sound, yes, the Amen Corner there in Gin House, and that's been on Radio London charts for a few weeks now. 26 is the number this week.
Have you ever been?
Don't they ask you personal questions?
Ever been?
No, I haven't. No.
Well, needless to say, you're okay with wonderful Radio London.
Yes, hello, dear. Yes, Myrtle, what's the matter with you? You know something, dear? Saturday afternoons of all days can be a real drag, dear, especially with a stew pot going off like that. What? Shut up, Myrtle. No, I know you're reading the script and everything, but don't worry about it, because this afternoon, although there can be a rail drag, and I do agree I've got off, but the Giggle Goggle Goggle show at the Uppercut Club is the all-happening thing on a Saturday afternoon. After coming up to 16 minutes past 1 o'clock, that's the time here in Big L.
Hey, you, peasant.
See?
We are looking for the leader of the smoking revolution.
Yes, thank you very much, Ray Conniff, and you, Alison Perry. Hello, dear.
Pleasure Armour, Ramsgate in Kent for bingo! Doors open at 6:45. Eyes down at 7:45. Guaranteed full house prices at every session throughout the week. Mammoth Snowball. Jackpot. Special cash prizes every night. Closed circuit television. Buffet and licensed bar. Lunch, seating. Transport to get you home is provided in local areas. Membership application forms may be obtained from the Pleasure Armour Bingo Club, Coronation Ballroom, Ramsgate. Remember that 24 hours must elapse before membership can be granted, and you must be 18 to join Pleasure Armour, Ramsgate in Kent for bingo!
right now. This is Ichiku Park.
Over bridge of sights.
Hey, what else can you bring back from abroad besides a super tan? Do Marie's Super Kick.
Hey, everybody! This is Gary Brooker from Procol Harum, very much alive. Hoping to see you all 1:30 on Monday on the Juicy Fruit Spectacular. I'll be there.
Gino Washington fans, we've got Gino Washington and his next release coming up very shortly, just after a further announcement. But have a good listen to this one, because it's the old Aaron Neville hit, Tell It Like It Is. Anyway, first let me ask you, are you satisfied with your job? No? You're not earning enough? Lousy prospects? Well, the computer industry urgently requires trained men and women programmers willing to accept the challenge of an exciting, rewarding career in a young, expanding industry. So if you ring the School of Computer Programming in London, Museum 8831, or if you're around the Birmingham area, Central 3623, you can arrange to attend a completely free introductory lecture telling you all about the industry and what your prospects could be. So those numbers again, remember them: London, Museum 8831, Birmingham, Central 3623.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to handle a racing car at high speed? Of course you have.
Here's yours truly with the weather.
And this afternoon will be cloudy with rain in many places, with a chance of some thunder. The rain should die out during the night, and it'll be dry before dawn. Temperatures this afternoon rising to about 66 Fahrenheit, and they'll fall overnight to 48 Fahrenheit. Oh, good. An extra blanket tonight, right? Outlook for Sunday and Monday, cloudy with rain at times.
Good afternoon.
And starting the final hour of the Stu Pod Show. Hello, we haven't got up yet. I know it's Saturday, but get up, mate, immediately.
Get up, get out of bed, get up and get ahead.
There again, the new formula of the 29 sound this week on Radio London. I'd like to say, well, a few words to the Postmaster General, Edward Short, because as the last thing you swore to do was to a Postmaster General, and before the post went out as such, was to get the pirates off the air. Well, you've almost succeeded, so, but anyway, you must agree. Frankie Vaughan, and that's our special tribute to the PMG.
Every Saturday, go to the Nautilus Club in Lowestoft. It's the really big beat centre of East Anglia, featuring judicious moving and grooving.
Nothing will all be happening down at Lowestoft tonight. John Peel on the commercial there, unfortunately for personal reasons, had to suddenly, that's when you heard all those vibrations on that Frankie Vaughan record then. Well, that was a tender coming alongside again. John Peel's had to go off unexpectedly. London After Midnight tonight in the Perfume Garden, I'll be taking over, but don't worry, if your music is John Peel's music, I'll be continuing with the same, because I know how very popular it is, how very popular John Peel has become with his forward thinking and everything about his music and views at the moment. I won't be expressing the same views because I don't believe in them, but I'll be playing the same music anyway. John Peel had to rush off, he said. Could I possibly do at midnight after 3? And I said, well, look, Pete, if you do that, you see, you're only going to have about 3 hours sleep before you've got to get up in the morning again and do your 9 to 12 show. Didn't you say that, Pete Drummond? Come round here. Come on.
Well, I did mention that fact.
You did mention it, didn't you? But
you see, you know I don't sleep, Ed. You know, I haven't slept for 21 years.
Haven't you? That's why you look so mangy.
No, I've been dead for 20 years.
So you're only 21 now. It was 22 the other day.
Well, for my first 3 years of my life, I was alive.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No, you seriously want to do John Peel's show tonight?
Well, you know, I spoke to him as he went off the tender, and he asked me if I'd like to do it for him, actually.
Well, if you'd like to do it, please.
No, I don't mind at all.
Well, you're going to do it now, you see, because you've just offered.
There's a letter there to me.
Never turn an offer down.
There's a letter there to me. What are you doing while Oh, it's to you as well.
It's to everybody. It comes from Leslie Leadham, who's at 13 Francis Way, Silver End, Whiteham in Essex.
I know her.
And Leslie's often gone down to our Silver End jobs.
She's nice.
Is she?
Yes, very nice girl.
Good.
She is.
If it passes the Drummond trademark, it's all right, isn't it?
She gets the dum-dum seal of confidence.
Yes, what a seal, boy.
Hello, this is Engelbert Humperdinck. I want to remind you to listen to the station at 1:30 p.m. next Monday
for the Juicy Fruit Spectacular. I will be on the show along with lots of my friends in show business, so see you then.
Spectacular on 1:30 on Monday, right? So don't forget that, because we've got lots of stars. Everything will be happening on Monday, because we'll get lots of tributes, and Pete Drummond has just lit the piece of John Peel's Incense as a tribute. John Peel has gone off the ship unexpectedly, and hope everything's all right, John. And Pete Drummond will be on London After Midnight and the Perfume Garden tonight. Right, he has a piece of paper in his hand and...
Newsflash. This morning, revolutionaries took over the radio station in...
Reactionary dog, don't be alarmed. We come to tell you about John Cotton cigarillos, the revolutionary smoke that's 100% cigar tobacco, but not strong like a big cigar. And at 5 and 5 for 20, you can afford to hand them around. Okay, gringo, you want one?
Rather, I mean, see. I say, they're filter-tipped. At the revolution, what?
Ay, ay, ay.
It's smooth sailing with the highly successful sound of wonderful Radio London.
Time to get up, get out of bed, get a look up and get ahead.
Right now, just before we hear the end of that, let me tell you about a new love-in. It's all going to be happening by kind permission. Woburn Abbey have pleasure in announcing the world's most beautiful happening, the Festival of the Flower Children at Woburn Abbey. Yep, a most beautiful stately home is the setting for the most beautiful festival in history. Stars include the Kinks, Jeff Beck, the Bee Gees, the Alan Price Set, and masses more, and of course, flowers. Join them by the thousands at August Bank Holiday, the 26th, 27th and 28th of this month for the non-stop festival of the Flower Children at Woburn Abbey. Tickets, £1 per day, obtainable at all ticket agencies. The Festival of the Flower Children at Woburn Abbey this August Bank Holiday.
This weekend, where the action is.
So there we are on the Stew Pot, and tomorrow will be the penultimate Stew Pot show. Because on Monday, don't forget, at 3 o'clock we are all closing down. Very sad, but anyway, I hope you'll be with us in our final moment. Have a lovely day, won't you? And if you're out sunbathing and the sun happens to be shining, we'll get a good tan. And if you're going out tonight, enjoy yourselves. And don't have too much of a hangover tomorrow, will you, love? No? Good. Those vodka and port, they just don't mix, you know. Take me word for it. No. Oh, good. And the time right now by my Joessa watch is 30 seconds after 3 o'clock.
Here's yours truly with the weather.
This afternoon will be cloudy with rain in many places with the chance of some thunder. The rain should die out during the night. It'll be dry before dawn. So temperatures this afternoon rising to about 66 Fahrenheit, a bit chilly, but fall tonight even chillier to 48 Fahrenheit. Outlook for Sunday and Monday, cloudy with rain at times. You know, Joessa, the famous Swiss-made 17-jeweled anti-magnetic wafer-thin golden watch. Elegantly styled with a leather strap and sweet second hand, you can be on time with Joessa. Just send a 75-shilling postal order or check to Peter Walker Mail Order Company, 143 Lee Street, that's spelled L-E-Y, 143 Lee Street, Ilford, Essex. Peter Walker Mail Order Company, 143 Lee Street, Ilford, Essex. Every Joessa watch carries a 6-month guarantee, and if you're not entirely satisfied, your money will be refunded. I'll repeat that address for you slowly. Send 75 shillings to Peter Walker Mail Order Company, 143 Lee Street, Ilford in Essex, and you'll always be on time with Joessa. And now,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roman Empire.
Tell you don't come from Ilford, Stew Pot. It's Leigh Street, mate. Everybody knows that. Leigh Street, innit?
Oh, sorry.
Right then.
Anyway, thank you, Dupont, for a wonderful show. Listen to a bit of it. What are you doing? You hit your head. It's 2 minutes, 25 seconds past 3 o'clock, and greetings, welcome to the Empire. Those readers of the Daily Sketch who wondered where North Roman was, because there's a big article on Radio London and all the disc jockeys there, and Mr. Sean Asher, who uttered the words and wrote them all.
Sean, you forgot poor Mark. I've been here for 2 years, and you forgot me.
I'm not going to read the Daily Sketch anymore. Rotten old Sean.
How dare you forget me?
Oh, is it all worthwhile? Because I use Vitalis, you see, Sean Asher, so you've no need to say anything about me at all. Week from the Tokens is their latest recording on the Warner Brothers label. Pretty little song, too. And it's called It's a Happening World. Okay, world, happen.
Radio London will cease transmission at 3 o'clock this Monday afternoon. Don't miss the voices of disc jockeys in a Big L feature program starting at 2 under the title, This Was Their Final Hour.
Marshes on the edge of the River Dee across from the Welsh hills, you know, sounds like a cue for a song right there. And it used to be very hot sometimes, you know, we were playing around. Every once in a while, a little breeze would spring up apparently from nowhere and just cool you down, just then drift away again, you know, and it just spring up every once in a while and touch you and go away. And here's a song that does basically the same thing. It's by Tim Buckley from an Electra LP, and it's called Song, Slowly, Song. And some parts of this are so soft that you'll barely hear them and think that there's something wrong with your radio, but there isn't. Never has been, actually. Here are the Misunderstood, and the one pearl that they did produce, and there are others on tape somewhere, but one of these days will, you know, be released somehow. I don't have anything to do with it. And this was called I Can Take You to the Sun, and for about 4 minutes they did. Listen, the sun, and the guitar of Glenn Campbell, which of course was, I suppose, the highlight of the group, although they all did marvellous things, has got to come back somehow. It simply can't be ignored. Is hear him searing with fiery intensity as he does, and then turning round and bubbling like mountain pebble streams very gently, very quietly. An amazing guitarist. And he'll be back, you watch. Here are the Pink Floyd. They've got a lot of things to say, and they're going to have a lot more in the future. This is their LP, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and this is Astronomy Domine, which is very difficult to say. I said it. How can you possibly advocating loving everybody? Because it's simply not practical. Of course, actually, perhaps it isn't practical in some ways, but on the other hand, if you look beyond the sort of obvious things right away, you see exactly how practical it is. Because if you can start somebody else doing the same thing, and the whole thing works like a chain reaction, and everything's going to work out, and it's got to, sooner or later, and you find out, you stick with it, that it does. And I like to play a record for a couple of people who actually don't talk about it, they just do it. And I knew them, you know, before I started this program, and I hope I know them for the rest of my life because they've been very kind. They're very nice people. But beyond longevity, no particular significance, canned heat and rolling and tumbling. You have to make yourself a perfume in the garden badge. Now, a lot of people, you know, I mean, people who, you know, sort of 20, 21, 20, and up there, you know, they think, well, why should I bother? I mean, it's not sophisticated, you know, how totally uncool to go around with a homemade badge on. But actually, it's a very good idea because we've got to establish some kind of communication, and I shall wear one, and despite what the Daily Sketch says, the Daily Sketchman said the other day that I was a teenager, which is ridiculous, actually, because I'm 28 at the end of this month. There you go, hideous revelations. Does anybody actually care? Because age is such a ridiculous thing anyway. So, you know, such a hang-up. People say, I'm 17, as though, you know, like a number, I don't know, something not important. No, anyway, make yourself a perfume garden badge, have a ridiculous superior, because I shall have one on, and I shall feel perfectly ridiculous, because I'll be able to have grovelling for jobs with a perfume garden badge on. But, you know, I might just meet you, you might meet me, and you might meet someone, you know, infinitely more important. So, wear one, and, you know, see what happens. Here's Mark Bolan and Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Goodbye, each and every one of you, and take care and God bless. Mr. Peter Drummond up next on the Big L. We thank you for a lovely morning. Thanks for being with us. And most enjoyable because you've been around. 266 on your radio dial. This is Wonderful Radio London.
Wonderful Big L, Radio London. Wonderful Big L. Wonderful Radio London. Here's the latest weather word on Wonderful Radio London.
I would just like to say how very sorry I was to hear that Radio London is to close down. My association with Radio London has been a very long and happy one. And the personnel of Big L were not just business acquaintances, but very good friends of mine. Certainly one tribute that can be paid to Big L is the fact that they made more new artists than ever anybody has ever done before. And I'm sure that many of today's bill toppers owe a great deal to Radio London. Finally, I would just like to say a big thank you to Alan Keane and all of the disc jockeys, firstly for putting up with all the plugging that I certainly gave them, and for not just being very good friends, but you know, for doing so much to help me and the artists that I handle, and I'm sure the artists that other managers handle. And I would like to wish all of them very, very best of luck in the future.
Thank you very much, Roger Easterby. Great mate, he really is. He's a good lad, I tell you. Hope you got back all right the other day when you came out, by the way. And show is 10:30.
Wonderful Radio London. News around the clock. Always 1, 2,
15.
jumps ahead. Stick with us, you'll be well fed. With happy music all the while. Easy listening with a smile. Keep jumping, follow suit. You're gonna have a bright new future.
Hey, girl with the short dress on. Well, most of these stars have been coming on this morning, Alan, saying words to us, and of course they'll continue to do so throughout the day until 3 o'clock.
They've been doing so for the last couple of weeks. I've had these tapes being sent into the office, and it snowballed. That's actually what happened. I mentioned to one particular artist that I would like him to play a tribute, a very big name, and the word passed on, and from there on, for something like 2 weeks, we had various big names, small names coming into the office, some coming in unannounced and just saying, I'd like to pay a tribute to Big L, because not only as an artist am I going to miss this station as a platform for promoting records, but also because I listen to it. And I know that you yourself, you know that everybody in the music business does listen to Radio London.
Right, yes, this is absolutely true. And they've all been saying that Radio London has made so many artists. About how many? Because I've only been here 11 and a half months, but you know, I wasn't in on the beginning of it like you were.
Dozens.
Simply dozens of artists.
From big names to small names.
Well, I know the ones that, you know, back in episode 6 is a sort of...
Sure, The Small Faces is another one. Tom Jones is another.
Desmond Decker.
Right, Pete Drummond. I haven't heard of Pete Drummond.
No, well, I don't sing, actually. Oh, I do sing.
Good.
Do you play an instrument, Alan, at all?
I used to play. I used to play the piano.
Well, I've heard you play a piano very, very well.
Well, you say that to all the sailors.
No, I don't.
No, I'm just an average pianist, that's all.
All right. What is the most memorable incident that you've had on since you've been on Radio London?
Well, apart from taking you on, of course. I mean, that was pretty memorable. But we all make mistakes.
Yes, we all make mistakes.
The most memorable occasion for me was really way back in '64. This was before Radio London even started broadcasting. In the September, we had a small group of individuals. We got together, and during those days we had a tremendous number of problems. The main one, of course, being contact with the ship. We had technical problems, which I didn't really get involved in at all. But at one time it did seem that, to each one of us, that we'd never even get on the air at all. And then after about 2.5 or 3 months, eventually came the most memorable occasion for me since I've been with Radio London. In fact, one of the most memorable occasions of my life, and that was that after all this time, we knew that at 11 o'clock on a Friday morning on 266 frequency, we would broadcast a tone signal, just a whistle.
Yeah.
And we happened to be in the office, half a dozen of us that particular morning. We sat around the radio and up until exactly 11 o'clock there was nothing. Then on the dot, at precisely 11 o'clock, came from nothing at all this tone signal. And we knew that that was our station. Well, this was, of course, before we even identified ourselves.
Yes. That tone whistle, is that the same one that's remained with us after 9 o'clock at night?
No,
that's a different one.
That's a hedge for that.
I had a letter from a listener the other day who sort of worked out the number of days we've been on the air, and it was nearly 1,000, something like 900.
Really?
Yes, 985 days, something like that. I'm not absolutely sure, but it's nearly, I forget how many thousand hours of broadcasting, but it's nearly 10,000 hours of broadcasting, I think, that have been put into the station.
We've carried 1,027 advertisers in those 2 3/4 years. I was talking with Paul Kay last night, and he was saying that after a couple of weeks from the commencement of our broadcasting, nobody knew exactly how big we were. And, well, you can imagine that I think that after a few weeks, when we had our first NOP survey, the figures came through that we had then picked up, within a couple of weeks or so, almost 4 million listeners, which was quite an achievement.
Would you wish at this time to reply to any of the statements that the government has given about stations interfering and the various, I think there are about 4 or 5
Well,
points.
we've never received any complaints at all ourselves. I can only talk for Radio London.
We've never received any complaints from anybody about interfering with any frequency?
No. We've never had complaints. We do pay our PRS, that's Performing Rights Society fees, as you know.
Yes.
And this is despite what one does read in the national newspapers. We do pay our fees.
We pay our fees?
Yes.
As far as we know, we have not interfered with anybody?
Never.
And we could very easily go on land at this very moment?
Well, we've always said that
frequency.
There is room, if that's what you're getting at, is
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there is. There's room for 101 stations. There should be commercial radio in this country, which isn't going to cost the taxpayers anything at all.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
free radio.
Free radio?
Yes.
It's been free for the last
That's right.
2.5 odd years?
Supplying and meeting a demand.
Right. Well, you were talking about advertisers, Alan.
Oh, yes, I did.
I've got to give a plug for an advertiser.
Right.
All right?
Hello there, this is Eric Burden, and I'm inviting you to join me next Monday at this station at 1:30 for the Juicy Fruit Spectacular. All my mates in the pop world will be there, so we'll see you then.
Thank you very much, Eric Burden, and we'll have words from some more advertisers, which we missed out for the last 5 minutes in just a few seconds. Minutes, hours. You sounded a lot happier, I think.
Yes.
But it's such an awful grey day, and it's such a...
I think the most emotional part of our broadcasting is going to be this very last hour. I was working on this last night with Paul and Ed Stewart, and just programming the whole hour itself. It really is quite something. I feel it's probably the most emotional program we've ever put together on this station. Between 2 and 3 today, and that'll be on.
And then at 3 o'clock,
That's on the dot. At 3 o'clock, we go off air.
We go off air for ever and ever and ever.
As we are at this moment. As an offshore radio station, yes.
Yes.
But perhaps, and we're all hoping that somebody will see the light one of these days and say, well, let's have commercial radio stations.
When you say somebody will see the light, I think the majority
I
of
think
people...
you know who I mean.
Yes, but the majority of people in this country have already seen the light, and unfortunately the minority haven't, which is...
Well, when you say they saw the light, I mean,
well,
they accepted something which was offered to them. And then this snowballed. And then, of course, you know, we recognized the fact, well, they recognized the fact that this was good, and it was free, and it was free entertainment.
And if you don't like it,
if you don't like it, you switch
turn
off.
it off. You want to turn to another station.
And you're no worse off.
Right.
Like independent television, the same thing.
Something that, just one final thing, the record companies in this country have made records through Radio London, but have they sold more? Have they sold less? Have we had an effect? Have the offshore stations had an effect on record sales?
Record sales have increased. I feel the answer to this one really lies in the fact that prior to offshore radio stations, we had fewer big names in show business. I'm talking of artists and groups. When we came into business, we created an extra platform which made it possible for new talent to get exposure. And that's the only way you will sell records, by letting people know that these records exist. So therefore, what I'm getting at is this, that by offering another platform, by giving new talent an opportunity, those records sold more as well as the older established artists. So overall, record sales did increase. Is that quite clear?
Yeah, it's absolutely clear. Well, I'm
not sure whether it is.
No, you made it absolutely clear, Alan. And I think, you know...
Yes, well, my time's up, and I'd like to say just finally, and it's been good to sit here and talk with you this morning, I would like to say on behalf of all the programme department of Radio London that what a wonderful 3 years these have been. We've made some tremendous, some very good friends in the business, artists, record pluggers, publishers, and so on. And it's a great shame that it has to end this way. But I feel that, as I keep saying, we'll meet again.
Well, I hope so. Alan, I'd just like to say on behalf of all the disc jockeys and the staff of Radio London, and in fact, everybody, I'm sure the record companies will go along with this as well, that you have been an absolutely superb program director. We couldn't have had a better one.
It's on the sheet.
And you've done it. You're wrecking my... I'm being absolutely truthful here, Alan. You know, it's been a pleasure to work under you, and even though you haven't sent me a memo for the last 3 months...
Well, you never replied to them anyway, so what's the point, you know?
No, it really has been tremendous, and you've been absolutely fantastic as a program director. We couldn't have wished for a better one. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
For all the help you've given me, and I know all the other disc jockeys feel exactly the same way.
Fine, Pete. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Alan Keane, our program director.
Richmond, and I'd like to say how sorry I am to hear that Radio London is going to have to close down. 1964 was a year which brought me back into broadcasting, and the only medium that could do that was Radio London. And I, with my colleagues, Paul Kay, Tony Windsor, Alan Keane and Dennis Maitland, and all of the Radio London scene, Kenny Everett and Dave Cash, really enjoyed setting up this very, very popular and very successful radio station. It was a great moment in my life and a great period for me. It brought me many friends, listeners, workmates, and people in the industry as a whole, whom I've got to know and got to like and are still great friends. I'm sorry that I had to leave Radio London for other things, but I'm even sorrier that Radio London's having to leave us seemingly for good, but I hope not for good, but coming back fairly soon. So goodbye, everyone, and good luck to everyone on Big L.
One of our first Radio London disc jockeys, Earl Richmond. On top of the news, we got the warm sound, so stick around. This is Radio London. The time on the Pete Drummond Show is 11:30.
Wonderful Radio London. News around the clock.
And the Dateline Monday, August the 14th, southwestern France, where earthquake tremors have been felt. One elderly woman is reported to have been killed in the village of Arret, which is on the Spanish border. 20 people were taken to hospital. Several of them had been seriously injured. The drunken driver. Home Secretary Roy Jenkins has issued a circular to the police force explaining a policeman's rights regarding the use of breathalyzer tests. Policemen cannot stop cars at random, but they can use the breathalyzer on any motorist involved in an accident. Motoring, it's reported that Minister of Power Mr. Marsh is being approached by several leading oil companies who are trying to obtain permission to increase the price of petrol. It's likely to go up by tuppence or threepence a gallon. Broadcasting, it's almost certain that the Marine Offences Bill, designed to stop offshore radio, will come into force tomorrow. As a result, Radio London will be closing down at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Gatwick Airport. Trans-Global Airways are reducing some of their fares to North America next year. A flight leaving early in August and not coming back until September will cost only £37 return. And the weather, damp and dull weather with heavy rain in places, is forecast for most districts today. It'll be rather cool with strong winds reaching gale force in some exposed areas. Tomorrow's weather is expected to be changeable.
And that's the news at 11:30 on Radio London. The next news in 1 hour's time. And for the last time, Ed Stewart reporting.
Hello, everybody! This is Gary Brooker from Procol Harum, very much alive. Hoping to see you all 1:30 on Monday on the Juicy Fruit Spectacular. I'll be there.
Well, we'll see you as well at 1:30 on the Juicy Fruit Show. Don't forget to tune in.
Hello, this is Alan Blakely here of the Tremolos. Alan Blakely of the Tremolos, take 1.
Hello, Alan Blakely of the Tremolos.
Hello, this is Alan Blakely here of the Tremolos. And I'd like to say we're all flipping choked about Radio London going off the air. As far as we're concerned, Radio London made us in the beginning. So I don't know what we're going to do now for listening to.
Well, thank you very much, Alan Blakely. And you can take 2 if you like. I don't mind. Hello, Myrtle.
Hello, Dale.
Goodbye, Myrtle. There he goes, Buddy Merrill, the lover, and I'm afraid that's going to be just about the penultimate time we're going to hear it on Radio London, but I know the weather's dull and damp and miserable, and it's rough out here, about 4, 6 or 7, but don't let's get too despondent, shall we? Let's go into our first record in the stew pot, and this is my favourite one from the top 10 this week, Keith West and Excerpts from a Teenage Opera.
Glorious feeling, school's over for another day!
It's our school spot. Hello there, this is Bruce Welsh of The Shadows. I'd just like to say thank you for all the plugs we've had over the last 3 or 4 years. Good luck to all the staff and all the DJs. Thank you.
Yes, and of course our school spot theme was played by The Shadows. We'll be hearing from Hank in a minute. Well, that's it.
Marvin of The Shadows speaking at the end of an era. For many young up-and-coming artists, the end of a very good era, because in this time they've had their records played by your Radio London, and many of them, of course, have become stars and had hit records. And on behalf of all those, I'd like to thank you for all the plugs that everyone's had, and good luck in the future to everyone.
The school spot on at 5, 'cause 10 to 5's when I arrive.
Then, my goodness, I'm alive.
It's school spot, school spot, school spot.
When it's jukebox sings a song, screws and dum-dum come along.
And say, go blimey, what is wrong? It's school spot, school spot, school spot.
School spot, most wonderful school spot.
I love to listen to a monkey tune.
When no Roman comes, I spin.
Well, get up again. Right, back the chorus.
School spot, most wonderful school spot.
I love to listen to a monkey tune.
And when old Roman comes, I swoon.
Put the school spot on at 5, just in time when I arrive.
Then, oh boy, am I alive.
It's school spot, school spot, school spot.